What's up, guys? Spidey09 here, hoping that you have had a marvelous day. Spidey09 here, guys. I'm hoping that you've had a marvelous day and a wonderful holidays. Today is the day after Christmas, and I know that the last video I put up was pure junk. Wasn't great, low energy. Wanted to bring the energy today. And today we have a versus video. We're talking about the Pizza Spider-Man, the reigning king of Spider-Man action figures, and the new challenger, the retro card Spider-Man. Now, I know we've had this figure for a few months, but I wanted to compare the two for those new collectors out there who want to know which Spider-Man should they invest in. Should they spend the money, the extra dollars, and get the Pizza Spider-Man? Or should they get the newest and latest, which is the retro card Spider-Man? So with that, let's get to our versus review of the Pizza Spider-Man and retro card Spider-Man. Guys, I'm bringing a new setup to you today. I really hope that you enjoy it. I'm still learning this YouTube game, especially when it comes to audio and lighting. I like toys, been into toys for a long time, especially Marvel action figures, but YouTube audio lighting, that I have not been involved in a long time. But anyways, I'm learning it and enjoying it, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So with that, let's take a look at these two guys here. I've got them posed in kind of a neutral, kind of alert stance. I actually like neutral poses. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, but I do. Dynamic poses are great, but I want an action figure that just looks awesome, like communicates who they are in their natural stance. But I love dynamic poses like this black costume Spider-Man here. So let's take a closer look at Pizza Spider-Man. Looking good. We've got a good face sculpt here. Good lines. I'm not going to do like a full-on review of each action figure, but you can see we've got classic colors here. Blue and reds. Got that logo on the chest. Set that back. Take a close look at the retro card Spider-Man here. Again, classic colors. And kind of I think this is more of an older style face sculpt. You know, harken to more of the Ditko version of Spider-Man. Now, as you can see, I'm a McFarlane Spider-Man fan, and I got another one hiding out back here. I love big white eyes, so like right off the bat, that's what I'm looking at here with the Pizza Spider-Man. Those bigger, wider eyes. Now, I think this helmet, I think we can swap the heads here. There is the Pizza Spidey head on the retro card head. And let's get there's the retro on the Pizza Spider-Man body. It's funny, they both look good with each other's heads on. Just something feels a little off here. Side view, side profile. Straight on, looks okay. But our review today is the versus. Which one should you look at purchasing here? Warning for you guys, swapping heads. When I put the Pizza Spider-Man head on the retro card body, when I put it back, it's a little loose now, like I stretched it out or something. So be careful head swapping. So while we're talking about head swapping and the different versions of their heads, the Pizza Spider-Man comes with two heads. One of them is this half maskless face here where Peter Parker is pulling it off, to enjoy a slice of pizza. And it allowed you to get that iconic,
One moment.
it allows you to get that iconic look of,
Working on that.
do y'all hear that?
Something went wrong.
Siri,
Please try
like,
again.
Siri's interfering. But anyhow, what I'm getting at is, with this iconic head, with this head right here, you get that iconic look for your photos of Tobey Maguire giving Kristen Dunst a kiss that you saw in Spider-Man the movie. So it's really cool to have this option here. It really kind of, levels up your display when you have these different abilities to pose your figures with these different headsets. Now, Retro Spider-Man does come with an alternate head. Let me grab that for you. Retro card Spider-Man does also come with an alternate head. Here it is. Kind of a more squinty-eyed look for that original look in Amazing Fantasy 15 and Amazing Spider-Man #1. Now, Pizza Spider-Man, one advantage it has is it comes with these wall crawling hands, which in my opinion, you have the wall crawler, Spider-Man. I mean, yes, they web sling, but they wall crawl first and foremost. And so to me, every Spider-Man that Marvel Legends releases should have, Hasbro releases in their Marvel Legends line, should have wall crawling hands. I know I'm not the only one who says that, but the retro card Spider-Man here does not come with wall crawling hands. I have the wall crawling hands on right now, and they're not the best fit ever. Not a bad fit, but not the best fit. But that came from my Pizza Spider-Man. Both come with flipping hands for the web slinging action. Both come with fisted hands, as you can see here, which, every action figure superhero should have fisted hands available because they're going to fight the bad guys, right? Take a look at their feet. The Pizza Spider-Man has kind of this, I don't know, but these feet kind of look more like duck feet to me, but they work well. They pose well, stand up well, where Pizza Spider-Man has more of a, you can see kind of more of a toed here point. And, that's really what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to get that kind of kick back. Sometimes I do wish we could get more articulation here, but you turn it, you can really get it moving. But again, not trying to make this an articulation review, but just have different looking feet, and it stands out to me. Now, both have butterfly joints. Now, the ones on the Retro Car Spider-Man are really smooth, very little scuffing, but the ones on the Pizza Spider-Man are not as smooth and have scuffing. See the scuffing right there on mine. Let's get a closer look. It's kind of the rear view. Well, let's look at this operation here. See how good that is. That's so smooth. Both can reach around or fold their arms in well. Maybe it's my inferiority as a poser, and I am not the best, that is for sure. But it sure does seem like the Pizza Spider-Man can get into a better cross-armed pose, which I think is an important pose. Not the most important, but I like to see it. Retro Car Spider-Man does a good job. They both do a good job of getting their arms folded. I love that look, that kind of Yeah, my work is done here. Cross my arms. Now, the big gripe about the Pizza Spider-Man, and this is no secret, is just that his leg articulation, especially as it relates to kicking out sideways, just not very rangy. Not much range. I mean, you have to get in some awkward positions to try to get more range. Where Retro Card Spider-Man, his leg drops down, can drop down, and gets in a wider splits here. Look at that. And that's really good because, I mean, as we all know, Spider-Man is, very rangy in his ability to get his legs contorted. And that's really important when it comes to posing. Gosh, I mean, it just doesn't take much to get him into such unbelievable poses. Just gotta love it. Got to love it. It just looks so good almost at any angle. There's one negative about this retro card, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. So many have already said it, but it's this gappage that you get under the neck here, especially from the side. Just looks really awkward. It looks fine looking down, but that full-on look up from the side, just terrible. From the front, not bad at all. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get Pizza Spider-Man in dynamic poses, because you can. I mean, you certainly can. And many have taken incredible photos with this guy. Just not that you would ever do that, but there you go. He's got a lot of range to him. If I had some webbing right now, I could do this upside down pose for you. Upside down pose. Classic Spider-Man. Again, I'm not the best poser ever. Mainly because, my version of playing with action figures is setting them up in a display and kind of leaving them alone after that for a little while, and then I get bored with them. I redo the display. So I'm not really a photographer. I probably would do more photography if I didn't have such a demanding work schedule and busy family life and church life. So what time I do have goes to hunting for these guys and making you guys videos. All right, up to this point, we've covered quite a bit of ground. Now, I'm going to show you a video that I had taken previously with a different camera of these guys in a 3 and 4 point poses in comparison to our McFarlane Spider-Man here. Now, for those who don't know, this is affectionately called the McFarlane Spider-Man. It really isn't, but it came out in the Toy Biz days. Was everyone's definitive Spider-Man for a very, very long time, and for some of us, it still is. in many ways. It was my first love, and so I own 13 of them, and I enjoy them. But one of the reasons we love that Toy Biz McFarlane Spider-Man so much is because of the fact that he could be put into a really awesome 4-point pose. Here's an example. And when he sits on a ledge or on the shelf, it just looks so awesome. And was basically my favorite pose for Spider-Man action figures. And to me, still one of the best poses that you can get any action figure in is the 3 or 4-point pose. You know, you have kind of the superhero pose, and then you have the Spider-Man pose. Here we have black costume Spider-Man sitting in kind of a 3-point pose right here. It's very much on the black costume Spider-Man is very much on the Pizza Spiderman body mold. Maybe there's some changes and differences in it, but I just find the black costume Spider-Man so easy to pose in comparison to the Pizza Spider-Man. Maybe some of you guys in the comments can let me know why that's the case. I don't understand it. It's just easier to get into dynamic poses, especially that 3-point stance. But check out this video of these guys in 3 and 4-point poses. Like this, looking down. In the 4-point pose. I don't know. They both look really good in this pose, in this position. You know, it's hard not to go with, oh gosh, this is tough decision. I don't know which one do I like better. Hold on one second. So here you can see the 4-point pose in comparison to that classic McFarlane Spider-Man next to the retro Spider-Man and Pizza Spider-Man. You know, with all 3 of these here together, they all look great. It's hard to choose, you know, which one is the best. You know, my heart is with the McFarlane Spider-Man, but this is a comparison between the retro card Spider-Man and Pizza Spider-Man. And looking at both of these together, I think I have to go with the retro Spider-Man. That ab crunch just makes all the difference there in the pose that he's able to get into. So with everything being said, if you're new to collecting Marvel Legends and you're trying to decide which Spider-Man is the one you should seek after, the one you should search after, the one you should spend your hard-earned money on, we've got to take into consideration the price points in today's market. Now, today, Pizza Spider-Man, loose, probably best price you can get is $30-35, averaging around $50, upwards to $130, $140 on some third-party sites if you want to mint on card. Then you have the retro card Spider-Man, and as of today, which is December the 26th of 2020, retro card Spider-Man can possibly still be found in stores. I have yet to ever see one in person in any store, and I go in a lot of them. However, you can still order this online, direct from retailers, although the retailers that I've seen today, they're on pre-order, back order for next year in 2021. So if you had to buy this today, if you were making this decision today, and you went on third-party sites, you're probably looking at $35-50 for this guy mint on card. I'm not sure what he goes for loose, but probably $25 shipped. So with those price points in mind, to me, the definitive Spider-Man that you would want to purchase today is the retro card Spider-Man. You get the newest and greatest in the ab crunch, which to me is the biggest selling point to the retro card Spider-Man. You do get better, leg articulation with those drop down hips in comparison to the leg articulation to the Pizza Spider-Man. But look, almost every collector is going to want both of these. But again, This is a versus video. And if you were buying one today, I have to give the winner to the Retro Card Spider-Man. I think for the most part, he stands alone. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you're likely not surprised by this because Retro Card Spider-Man was my figure of the year. I love him. I think he's great. I think he's a great addition to anyone's collection. He is a must-have in my opinion. Now, I'll add a side note to this is that I think mint on card, the Retro Card Spider-Man looks better on the wall or on your shelf. That classic, artwork from the animated series, it hits me in the chest, right here in the heart. Really love it. Kind of the Pizza Spider-Man's presentation in the box is good. It's just not as good as retro because of the art on the card. So even if you're looking at just being a mint on card collector, I just really love the nostalgia that you get, the nostalgic payoff that you get with a retro card Spider-Man as well. More of those retro cards are coming out in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but that is my guess. And I think that's another reason why you'd want to choose this one today. So the winner is Retro Card Spider-Man. If you disagree, let me know why in the comments below. This is, I'm one man's opinion, but I did want to share it with you. And I hope that I've served you in some way today. If you would, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hope you all have a marvelous, marvelous day. Take care.